Hi everyone. As you may know, today I'm working, so I'm not able to attend the class, but I wanted to draw something with you. So today we'll be using pencils, paper, eraser, and you can use one of these three. So you can use either a little bit of paper towel, a Q-tip, or a dry brush. Make sure it's dry. Okay. If you only have one pencil, it's usually the HB or H pencil. You can use just that one. Just remember, when I do light shading, it will be just very light pressure. If I go up in my numbers, you can still use the same pencil, just do a lot darker, or maybe somewhere in the middle. Okay, so I'll let you get your supplies and we can get started. So we're gonna draw a nice landscape today. So first I'll use my HB pencil. So I'm using my sheet vertically. Okay, if you have a bigger one, you can just imagine you're using a certain portion. This drawing doesn't have to be too big. You see like the size, like the palm of my hand, because we're gonna do lots of shading, so don't draw it too big because then it's gonna take you a lot more time. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a line right in the middle. I know last time we practiced our straight lines. So that's step one. Our second step will be, sorry, I don't think I mentioned it, but we're gonna draw a landscape. So the sea, a sun, and two palm trees. So step number two is the sun. You can do it in the middle or off to one side. So a circle, remember how we did circles last time? If you do just one, it's not gonna look like a circle. But if you keep going, you'll get there. And I know it's looking a lot darker than what I want, but I'm gonna erase what I don't need in a bit. Okay. So erase what you don't need for your circle. Remember, when I'm drawing, I'm moving my shoulder, not my wrist. And I erase inside a little bit. Good, and I make sure it's nice and round all around. Doesn't have to be too perfect on the outside because we're going to shade around, but in the inside, try to make it nice and round. And once you have a nicer circle, just go lightly with your eraser over it so you can still see it, but it's not too dark. So that's step number two, the circle. And now we're gonna draw where our land will be. So just over here, there will be a little bit of grass. Sorry, just 1 second. Don't worry too much about this line. It is going to be covered with more pencil after. So just a quick line indicating a little bit of land there. Maybe this is a little bit of a hill coming down. And then my tree palms, I'm gonna do 2. So step number 1, a line in the middle. Step number 2, the circle for the sun. Step number 3, lines here indicating the land. And step number 4 would be our palm tree. So I'm gonna pick a point where they start and I imagine where they're going to go. So the first one will go up to here. The second one could start over here. And then I want it to go over the sun. Maybe it could go all the way up here, a big one. So I'm just gonna join the 2 points with a curved line. Perfect. So that's step number 4, I believe. And now I'm gonna do the same line. So just to indicate, so this is my first line. Just to indicate, or just to complete the trunk of my palm tree. So they're a little bit thicker in the bottom. As I go up, they get a little bit thinner. And then same with this one. So I don't know if you can see, this is my first line. I do another line right here. To complete it. Okay, that's another step. And now I'm gonna draw the palm tree, or sorry, the leaves. So I'm gonna pick a point a bit higher than where my trunk ends. And from that point, I'm gonna draw lines out like a spider. 1. They don't have to look the exact same. They can look a few more curved, a few shorter, a few longer. So that's my spider where my leaves are going to go. So I'm gonna repeat that. I choose a point higher than where my trunk ends and just draw the spider. Maybe this one can be longer. Okay. And now I'm going to, so that's another step. I'll let you catch up. So remember how I told you make sure your drawing is not too big, because the fun part of this drawing is shading. If it's too big, it's gonna take you a long time to finish it. Now we're going to draw a little boat. So for my boat, I draw a line like this. Then 2 lines coming down from the corner. And then I joined the lines together. So that's the bottom part of my boat. Now I draw a line up. Could be right in the middle. And now from my top here, I'm going to draw a line going down like this and coming to my right. So you can watch me do it and then you can do it. So from my top, I go left, down, and then right. I'll let you do that. And now we're gonna join the 2 points together. So from my top, I go here with a little bit of a curve. Perfect. And that's our boat. Now that we have the basic shapes, we can start the fun part, which is shading. Again, if you have just one pencil, that's fine. When I need light shading, I'll do very light pressure. When I need darker, I just put more pressure. Okay? If you have more pencils, I'm gonna go maybe with a 3B, 3 or 4B, whatever you have. Just the next step after HB. So I'll let you grab your pencils. And we're first going to shade the horizon. So where you can go over the boat, it's fine. So where the where the water meets the sky. Just light. And I'm going left to right. For here, left to right. And I'm gonna go around the sun. Don't go over the sun. You wanna leave it light. So what I'm doing again is just coloring close to the sea, close to the first line. And notice that here I make lighter lines. So if I'm far from the sun, it's lighter. As I go closer to the sun, it's just a little bit darker. Just a tiny bit. You don't have to cover all of it. Just make sure around the sun is covered a bit more. Okay. So I'll let you catch up. I'm just gonna review quickly what we just did. We're now shading. You can use the same pencil, just a little bit darker, or a bit more pressure, or you can go 1 or 2 numbers up, so 2 or 3B, and you're gonna maybe even 4B. I'm shading around. So this first line I made, the horizon, and I'm doing around the sun. Notice how the farther I go from the sun is lighter. As I get closer to the sun, I put more pressure, just a little bit more. And now we're gonna have whatever you chose to use. You can use the paper, the brush, or a Q-tip. The brush is lighter. Just to go over what I just drew to blend it. So with this, you can make circles, so make sure it's all blending nicely. You can also use the Q-tip. Q-tip tends to make it a little bit darker, but it still works. I think the brush is easier because it covers more area. So just go over what you just did with this. This one I like too. You can even use your finger, but then you get dirty. Make sure you don't get the dirt anywhere else. That's why I use a paper towel. Circles around. Don't go over the sun. If you find that the sun is getting darker, you can erase the sun. Okay, so I like my sky. Now we're going to draw a few clouds in front of the sky. And I just make the big shape first, kind of imagining where they could be. Just a few in front of the sun. I think we did these on when we did the sunset painting. They don't have to be the same shape or size. And they're going to go just a little bit darker compared to our background. And at the top, I do a few circles, just a few. So I move my pencil in a circular way. And at the bottom, they're gonna be a little bit darker, so I put a little bit more pressure at the bottom of my cloud. So I'm gonna repeat that. At the top, I was doing just a few circles with light pressure, and at the bottom I put a little bit more pressure left to right. Okay, now we're going to do our let's go with the sea. So I'm just gonna shade, but I don't want to do it all together. We're gonna do kind of like the cloud, shapes like the cloud. So maybe let's draw them first. So you can draw shapes like this. Kind of like, I don't know what shape this is, like clouds. And maybe, so I'll do them first and then you can do them after. So here I'm not gonna do this part. I'm gonna go around. So I want you to do this shape in the corners, pointy shape. And they don't have to be the same size. Okay, so I'll let you do these shapes in your water, just the top part. I'll let you catch up. And the reason I'm doing these shapes first is because I know it's hard to draw water. So I want you to see it very regular. So after we have these shapes, we're just gonna color. Let's color the shapes, but let's do this one's first. Light, kind of not super light, but medium. And if you don't have shapes, but there's a big space, you can just color it. So like here, I didn't draw the shape, but you don't have to draw the shape. It's just for you to know not to shade everything equally, but some kind of shadows in the water. I hope that makes sense. So I look at my sun where it's on the left side. The bottom part, I wanted to, so where the sun starts on my left, if I go down, I want that part just a little bit darker. Same here where my sun starts here. If I go down into the water, I want that part a little bit darker. You notice how underneath the sun I'm not really doing much yet. Don't draw anything underneath the sun yet. If we don't get to finish this today, we can finish it next class. But this first stages, they don't need a lot of work. Don't put, so you see, I have little spaces over here in between my two shapes. I just draw more black clouds. Okay. Now let's pick your tool, whatever you have, and let's go left to right, left to right. Don't color this. We'll leave this white for now. Don't worry about the trees. We're gonna go over them in a bit. Maybe we can go to a 4 or 5B, and we're just gonna go over the darker shapes. You can just make lines. You don't have to do the entire shape. Just lines here and there over your previous shapes, maybe connecting them from the top to the bottom. So you see what I'm doing? Let me show you. So let's say this one, there's one here, one at the bottom. So I start on the first one, left to right, and then I slowly go down and I connect them. Choose this one, slowly go down and I connect them. Maybe this one I connect with this one. You don't have to connect all of them. But just that idea of movement. So just color blocks here and there. The idea is not to color everything like we did the sky. Just here and there. And now under the sun, we can go with light strokes and thin. Under the sun, just making the indication that that part is lighter because the sun is right in front of it. And we'll actually finish our boat, so just shade the entire area. Perfect. And after the boat, I'll give you time to catch up if you need to. Okay. And now I'm gonna, under the boat, I'm gonna draw a line like that. And then under that line, I do another but smaller. So let me show you. You see, this is my boat. I drew a line here, and then another line, and even a smaller line, just to indicate the shape, the shading, and I kind of connect them with rough strokes. That's the shadow. And here I can make larger shapes. So just to review how to draw the water, we did smaller shapes here. Here we're gonna do bigger shapes. You don't have to draw this shape if you get the idea, but if it helps, do them. So the closer the water is, the bigger this shape is. You can connect, we'll connect them later, but the idea when you connect them is just pick one corner and go to the other side, like a Z or a Z. Corner, other side, and corner, other side, like a zigzag. So you see how I connected that one? I started here, then I went the other way, then I went the other way, all the way to the corner, and then I keep going like a Z. So I'm gonna finish this side, and then I'll let you catch up. They don't have to be perfect, don't worry. So you can catch up now. So again, we're just drawing these shapes so you know the idea, kind of where to color darker and where to leave the white spaces. And if you connect them, if you connect the shapes in a zigzag, like in a drawing, like just line, left, right, it's gonna look nice. And I'll let you catch up. Now we're gonna color them. I'm using a 4B, but you can use anything. Now that I've colored my bigger shapes, I try to connect them. Again, so you see I'm on the the right corner, and I go straight to my left, just jump to the other one. I just color around where you feel like there's too much blank space. Some parts will be darker. I do want to make around the sun, or where under the sun, just a little bit darker on the corners to see the contrast of where the sun is actually shining. This is just to give this an idea of reflections. And now we're gonna get our brush and blend them. Don't blend under the sun, we want that really white area. Okay, I'll let you catch up. At the end, we're gonna go with our eraser over a few areas just to bring the light out, but we'll do that at the end. Now we're gonna go with our, we're gonna finish our palm trees. So when I'm drawing, I tend to, not always, but darker areas, I tend to do top to bottom. So that way, because if I do bottom up, then when I'm here, my hand is getting dirty down here. So you can either put a paper towel here so you can comfortably draw without getting this dirty, but you don't have to. So I'm using a dark, we can even go 60 or so if you are using just the one, just lots of pressure, or you can go over it again multiple times. So So now we're gonna do our palm trees, the leaves. So my first step is just going over this line, and then I'm gonna go down multiple lines, just down, like when we were doing eyelashes the other time. And that's her first one. Maybe we can do a little bit more here. Okay. I'm gonna do a second one so you can see, and then I'll let you catch up. So we go over the first line. And think of gravity. Where is it going to pull the leaves to? So this side is no longer going to my right or perpendicular. It's always going to the ground. So I'll let you catch up on those two. And now that you know the technique, we'll just finish this tree. This one is a little bit tricky if it's looking towards us, but you can get the idea. We can do the right side first and then the left side. They start going up, but then gravity pulls them back down. If you think you want to have more time, remember this video will be on YouTube, so you can go back to it later and finish what you wanted to finish or spend more time on. You know, this is harder drawing, but I think you guys have been doing a great job, and I think you're ready for something a bit longer. Okay, I'm happy with that, and I'll let you catch up. Now we're going to do the tree. So I'm gonna just color. I'm still using the 6B. Just color inside the two lines. See, maybe we can do some brown circular shape here, just giving the indication of coconuts. Okay. Now I'm going to do the other one. So I'll let you catch up on the first one. Don't worry too much about this, because here we're gonna have grass. So we'll start our other palm tree. So I just go over my first line and then from there do these lines going. So initially they start kind of looking towards the same direction of where this is, but as I continue going, gravity pulls them down. So if I have this one that is kind of looking towards me, I do one side, the right side first. And left side. And again, my 3 other leaves that I have, go over it. These ones start going up and then get very close to the main stem. Going up, then start going kind of down. It's easier if you do the higher numbers. You don't have to put as much pressure on it. And it's easier if you put this paper towel so you don't blend everything that we already did. And I'll let you catch up. And we're almost done. We're gonna do our tree, then shade this, and we're done. So let's color our little tree. This part is easy because you just go as dark as you can. Perfect. Maybe a little bit of a shape, round shape here for the coconuts. Maybe I want to make this one a bit longer. Sorry. It's taller than the left one. And you can put as many as you would like. Okay. Now we'll just shape this part. Color, color, color. And when I'm close to this line, I'll make a darker lines, more pressure. Same with this area. Just a little bit darker. I'm gonna go with the brush to blend. And I'm gonna draw a little bit of grass. You see what I'm doing? Up, 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 up. Different directions, left, right. And we'll make it a bit darker. Here it doesn't really matter. What matters is these upper ones that give the illusion. Okay. The last thing we're going to do, get our erasers. I'll let you catch up first. If you have these shape erasers, we'll get a pointy side. If not, you can use a corner. And we'll just make a few lines to left to right. Very quick strokes like that. and I'm gonna try to hit under the sun first. So I'll try to show you from the side. I just put my pointy, sorry it's not too pointy right now, but I get the pointy part and just do a quick movement. Or with this one. I'm trying to hit under the sun, where the sun is hitting. Maybe a few around here and there, not too many. And we're done. So that will be our finished. Sorry, I'm not sure if you're seeing this bottom part because my camera doesn't show initially, and then I notice it's recording a lot more than I expected. So let me do this. If you can go a little bit darker around the sun so there's more contrast, but you don't have to. Remember how we used to do, we had the white pencil, so you can go over these whiter parts. And now we're gonna just sign. And date it. Perfect. So see you next class. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye bye.